What's going on, guys? It's your boy Jeff in it here. I've got a brand new tier list for you guys. I just did another tier list for all of the characters for season 2 for Grandmaster and below. If you did not see that, I've got a card up here at the top for you guys. It got 280 views already, which is great for me being a brand new page. I didn't get any subs from it though. Guys, like, what's up? If you're watching these, just hit sub. It has no negative impact on you, but it has a massively positive impact on me for two reasons. One, it keeps me motivated to do this. And two, the most important reason, getting a lot more views, getting more subs, that helps me validate to my wife that I need to be playing more Marvel Rivals. So, help a married guy out, okay? Help me out here a little bit, guys. Hit the sub, hit the like, comment with me. I'd love to chat with you guys. Anyway, this tier list is going to be specific to healers or strategist role. The reason that I want to do this is because I only play strategist and I have a lot of insight. I feel like I can give you guys a lot of really good advice, especially if you're below Grandmaster. That's going to help you do better if you are playing this role. And if you're not playing this role, help your friends make better choices on the healers that they pick and how they use them. And I'm also going to bring up a couple of things in here that maybe you guys didn't know about them yet. Some tech that maybe you haven't noticed. So we're going to look into that. So to start this out, we've got highest tier level being God. We've got all the way down C. We may as well just make the C one, like, don't play them. But every strategist has its purpose. They're better with some characters, better on some maps than others. So you really do need to make decisions like as you're playing based on team comps and based on the map that you're playing. But kind of without considering that too much, only one strategist is going to fit in the God tier role, in my opinion. Maybe you guessed it, maybe not. No, it's not Jeff. I'm just kidding. It's Loki. Okay. Loki is the only God tier healer in my opinion. And the reason I say that is his utility is kind of unmatched when it comes to this role. All of the clones, that's tech on map that has to be dealt with. It's massively distracting. It's hard to take him out because he can hop back and forth. He can go invisible. He has the healing rune that completely ignores all damage, and it actually turns incoming damage into increased healing. So if you are in that green circle from the healing rune, you are invincible. You cannot be killed at that point in time. CC can still have an effect on you. Like Jeff could still eat everybody in that. But while you're in that, you cannot take damage. That is insane. So if you have dive characters and stuff and you've got a Loki that's really good at throwing one out into the dive zone and throwing up that heal, that can make a massive difference for those situations. There are certain maps in which he's very, very good on, like Yggdrasil is a really good map for him in general. There's a lot of levels where he can place his stuff. He destroys buildings and the environment super quickly. And then honestly, for me, the real selling point to put him as the highest ranked strategist is that he can copy other players' alts. The biggest value that you're going to see from this, you'll see some value sometimes from maybe stealing Star-Lord or something and then using his alt if the moment's right for it. But honestly, the biggest push for him in using his alt is to copy another healer. You're going to want to copy Luna to get Luna's alt, and you're going to want to copy maybe Invisible Woman to get her alt. You could also copy Jeff on certain maps that are really good for Jeff. If you've got a Jeff on your team or on the other team, you can copy someone from the other team or your team. So this is huge, and something that you see in a lot of really high level gameplay is you see teams that have Loki and they have Luna. And the reason for that is because now you can stagger the Luna alt or run them back to back. And that gives you incredible survivability when you're trying to control an objective. And truthfully, because of that, I just don't think that Loki can be beat. He does have a high skill requirement. You're not going to just pick up Loki and be a God tier Loki player. It's going to take a lot of time and energy for you to actually work on that and master him and figure out exactly how to use him perfectly. It's a big deal. Another thing that I want to bring up too, and I'm going to show you the clip for it. Loki actually, it doesn't say this in his kit. Let's hop into the game real quick. Okay, when you're reading his skills, it does not say this, but this is something that happens. His regeneration domain here. It says runestones create a magical field that provides allies healing over time and converts incoming damage into further healing, which is what I said before. So it makes you invincible, but something I noticed in a game recently is this has a hidden tech that is not even brought up here. So I'm going to pull up this video and show you. Okay, guys, here it is. I was playing this game the other day with my buddies, and I saw this happen. So Bucky comes in here and does his ult, and you can see the curse hit everyone right here. And then as soon as that happens, it disappears, right? Hold on, let's go back a little bit. Bucky's ult hits, the curse lands on everyone, the Loki skill hits, and it goes away instantly. So not only does he do crazy healing with that, but on top of that, he's also cleansing debuffs. That's crazy. That's just absolutely crazy. So I just think that makes him even better, honestly, after I saw that. Loki's the only one that we're going to put in God. And then we'll change this up a little bit, and I'm going to show you the only one that I'm going to put in C, which is, I would say, like really the one that you just don't use. And hear me out here. I could see some people saying, like, he's really good, and he can be. The problem is, I am yet to see anyone below Grandmaster do well with him. For whatever reason, because he deals high damage, I don't know why, but I just see so many people that pick him doing more, like they're trying to do more DPS than they're trying to heal. And I just think, even though he does have a good kit, I think that there's just not really an awareness of how to play him super well. And truthfully, there are better options, especially in the lower ranks. And if you look at higher level gameplay, I don't personally see a lot of Adam Warlock, even when I'm like spectating or on Twitch. I just don't really see him that often. And I think that kind of, lends to what I'm trying to say here. I just don't think that he's a strong pick. I think that you're not going to be doing your team a great service by picking him as your healer. I would say for B, I would put Mantis in B. Mantis is good if you're very good with her. I have seen people do some incredible performances with her. She has the sleep skill, which can really help out with divers. It can help with nullifying tanks that are, overextending and that kind of thing. But she doesn't really have a lot of survivability to her. She doesn't have a lot of great movement. And I think when you're looking at a healer, we're certainly in like a form of a dive meta right now. You've got crazy diving going on with all these people right here at the bottom. You've got Venom, you've got Hulk, you've got Cap, Thing, Iron Fist, you've got Wolverine, you've got Magic. Look at all of these diving characters. I mean, it's hard as a healer when you have two divers on the enemy team that are very aware of their role as a diver, being they have to kill the strategist players. So if you're playing a healer that doesn't have a lot of mobility, you're not really filling the role well. And I would just say that's why Mantis sits in B here, and that's also another reason why Warlock would sit in C. He just doesn't have a lot of, ability to move around. The highest level of mobility would be Loki, because he can just disappear completely and just trade spots with one of his clones. It's wild. It's really, really hard to kill a good Loki. Maybe even impossible sometimes, unless the whole team decides to focus and really chase and hunt him down. For A tier, we're going to see a lot more fill out this role here. A, I would put Cloak in A. Cloak is a good healer, but Cloak is definitely like I would say maybe a beginner level healer. You're going to see a lot of value in Cloak because her attack heals and deals damage at the same time. So I think there's this unfortunate rationale in playing her as people are like, oh, well, I can get kills with her too. Well, you're not really getting kills. Like you're dealing a little bit of damage here and there, but if you deal damage to somebody and then within a certain time frame they end up dying from somebody else or whatever, like you get the kill for it, but you didn't really do that. You know what I mean? When you're a healer and you're seeing kill count, like that's really like an assist. It's not really you getting the kill, right? You're not getting the final hits, but even still, a final hit just means you dealt the last damage. So you're just helping as the team. That's why you'll notice that there's such high kill counts, but then the death counts don't match that. Those are assists. So I think a lot of people that do play Cloak think Cloak is super good because they can get kills too, but you're not really trying to get kills as a healer. Like you should just be healing your team. If you are hitting the enemy, like that's okay. You're gonna hit them with two of her skills, the ult and the little like shield bubble she does. They deal damage. I just don't think that validates. She is very good though in lower rank. It's hard for people to deal with her. If you're if you're good with the ult and you can maneuver around within the objective area, it can be extremely powerful and it can be very helpful with your team, especially coupled with another healer also healing within that. It can effectively make you pretty close to invincible, I would say. But she's definitely not S tier. You could argue she'd be B. she kind of falls off. As you approach Grandmaster, you see a little bit less of Cloak and you'd see a little bit more of Invis. So Invis is definitely S. She has a phenomenal ult, charges relatively quickly. She's got good area control by being able to push people away, pull people in. You can push people off the map with her pulse move. She can go invis and just disappear. So that really helps with her maneuverability, but her ult is extremely good and it's very, very helpful for lots of situations, especially objective based, but just team fights in general. I would say it certainly outclasses Cloak's. The other thing about hers is that when you use the ult, it makes your team invisible to any enemy that's outside of that, and it makes their team invisible when they're trying to look into it. It's also very easy to see. You know when you're in it. With Cloak, it can be kind of tough sometimes to see her ult, so you don't always know that you're in it, and that can cause some problems sometimes too. Luna is definitely S tier as well. This pair here, and honestly, this pair too, is super good. Being able to copy these two ults is a big deal. You see this a lot in very high level gameplay, but Luna's super good. She has good mobility. Her freeze is very good. Freeze is something that's underrated. Any form of stun at all, I believe is underrated at this point in time. Being able to stun someone can cancel their ult. Actually, so this person's not a strategist, but I'm going to show you this video to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so Emma's going to use her ult here, and this Penny is going to freeze her, like right here. There it is. So that's an ult canceled, right? And you're going to see that same effect when you're using Emma's freeze. So I do think that makes her really good in that regard as well. She has some strong CC with that. Of course, you got to land it. It's not like heat seeking or anything. That's the thing about Cloak is her skills, like you don't have to aim. Cloaks always have like 98% accuracy. That's because you don't really just throw it in the direction of the team and the enemy, and it's going to like auto track. So it's just really kind of like, I don't want to say it's like a brain dead healer, but like you don't really have to try, and you'll get good heals, but it's not as functional. It's just not as functional. Luna's ult is super good. It alternates between like basically making them invincible and also dealing extra damage. So you can swap back and forth by toggling the ult. Just to kind of backtrack there on what I just said, her ult doesn't make you invincible. If you get hit with a high enough instance of damage, it will still kill you. A good example would be, and I don't know if they changed this or not, but in the previous season at least, this was certainly true. If Penny's mines were stacked and you were in your ult as Luna and you passed over all of those mines because it deals more than like 250 damage, it would insta-kill her. So you can still die in the ult, but the instance of damage has to be greater than the actual health. You're not going to get like ticked down by things, but if a single instance is high enough, then it will kill you. It will kill your team. So keep that in mind for sure. Definitely S tier. Jeff, my boy Jeff, I'm going to put him in S, not just because of the healing, but because of the CC. And I'm going to say this right now. A lot of people think that Jeff is not a good healer, but the problem is because people have seen, I don't know, too many videos of people being like, oh, Jeff can do DPS flank or Jeff is flank, and they want to play that way. People don't think Jeff can heal because people just simply aren't healing with him. The bubbles are a great AoE burst. It gives a speed boost to everybody. It does great healing. The stream does a lot of healing as well. If you're pairing him with Luna and then you're getting the ice burst team up, that deals a lot of AoE damage in a wider area. It slows the enemy team. It's great CC. The other side of that would be his ult has 3 purposes. 1, eat the enemy team, take them off the edge. 2, your team is in a serious issue like the Eye of Agamotto or Groot's ult. You can eat your team and take them away from an enemy ult like that and just bring them back to the back line, and you actually heal your team. You damage the enemy team when you've eaten them. As you're swimming around, you're slowly taking them away. You are healing your team when you do that. So you can use his ult completely defensively, rescue your whole team from a big AoE situation, and just remove them from the fight, heal them up, and bring them back. That's crazy. The other side of it would be just to remove the enemy team from the objective. You can't always, with Jeff, get to an edge or get back to your base, but that's okay. Sometimes all you got to do is just get the enemy team away. Just take away the problematic people or just swallow the healers for a little bit so your team can actually deal some damage, some lasting damage to the tanks. There's incredible utility there. So I will put him in S. With Jeff, the Spider Islands map, There are so many places to take the enemy team off, and the way that map is set up, if you're positioned correctly, you can do massive healing. You can charge your ult very fast. That map, if you are good with Jeff becomes a god tier strategist for sure, but that map only, okay, that does not apply to any other map, only that one. With Jeff, his functionality as someone that can use his ult to actually eliminate the other team, it varies by map, and it varies on whether or not you're on offense or defense. Okay, if it's like the standard King of the Hill play, the map is the same. You don't swap roles, you just change level. Spider Islands, anytime you're moving the cart or you're doing an escort, sometimes he's very good defensively, sometimes he's very good offensively, and then you have to make that adjustment, right? A good example would be the Venom map. When you are on offense, Jeff is very good. Because your spawn points are moving up with you, so you can always bring them back into your spawn. You can't throw them off the map in many places, but I think only one you can. Just back on offense in the original place, you can take people off the map. But aside from that, you have to bring them into the base. So the spawn points move up with you, so if the enemy team is pushing back, they're overextending a little bit, and you're able to get an ult, you can bring them into base and just instantly elim them. Defensively on the Venom map, his only real use case is at the very end, saving from the third point, because you can eat off the third point and you can go up over the rocks and into the base. And that's going to kill a lot of people. I get a lot of elims like that, but I'll normally swap to him at that end point. If we get to that point, then I'll change and then I'll be Jeff. So that's just map awareness and using the strategist more appropriately, because there's nothing wrong with changing your strategist during a game, because sometimes it's like I said, better on offense, better on defense, make those adjustments. Rocket's the final one. Rocket's going to be an S as well. These four are just so good, and really truthfully, they're at the highest level of strategists, with the only one beating them out being Loki. Rocket is so good because he's almost kind of a passive healer. All you're doing is you're just holding down right click, and you're just shooting the healing balls, the orbs all over the place, and they're just passively connecting and healing with your team. He has a great power up with Punisher. He works well with Bucky. His ult is very good. It gives some shield. It does healing. It gives a damage boost as well. The only problem with his ult is as you get up into the higher ranks, it gets focused down. So you got to be really careful about where you place it and when you place it, because people can just shoot it down. It has a very high HP count. But if the whole team focuses your ult, that piece of tech, it can be destroyed, in a few seconds. So it's good to keep that in mind. Try and place it like behind a wall, so it's not just in plain view where people can get it. He's got that instant res as well on his the E skill. I forget what it's called, but you throw the little beacon down, and as long as people are within range and they die, they will instantly respawn. It'll only do it for one, and then it has a reset time of like 45 seconds. The importance of that skill is you need to recall it if it hasn't been used, and you need to place it farther forward as you move forward. If your team is out of range of that beacon, then they don't get the effect of it. It will just stay in the back. Like if you just keep pushing forward, that will just remain in the back and it will never get used. So you need to move it forward as you go. Keep it out of AoE damage areas, maybe place it in high ground, use his wall climbing ability to place it up somewhere out of sight. Don't put it like right by your enemy line or right around corners, because it's going to get destroyed by things like Moon Knight's ult and that kind of stuff. So he's super good. There's also like a little piece of broken tech with him right now. They're eventually going to patch this, I would imagine, but with him, with his team up skill with Punisher, if you are backed up to base, like let's say it's the final point on an escort one, and you're like in base, the objective's right in front of you, and you've got a Punisher on your team, you can use your team up, and when it expires, go back into base, change to another strategist, and then immediately change right back to Rocket, and it will completely reset the team up skill. So you can kind of just keep spamming it. That's pretty broken. It's very situational. And honestly, I wouldn't play him just because of that little piece of hidden tech, but if you have a really good Punisher and you are at the end of the rope there, you could do that little bit of manipulation, and it would be helpful. So something to keep in mind. I hope that this helps you guys out. Strategist role is extremely important. And you don't have to play DPS to get kills. You just don't have to do that. You can be so much more helpful, and you're going to win a lot more if you become a very good strategist, because I'm going to tell you right now, everybody wants to play DPS. They just want to see the high kill count. They think a high kill count means that you're good. Without good healing, no team can win. Just flat out, you can't. So if you can really adopt this role and practice it and get good with it, you're going to find yourself winning a lot more games. Trust me. I took control of healing early on because I saw the lack of healers and the lack of skilled healers, especially in the lower ranks. And I decided this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do this. And I climbed solo queue pretty easily. Obviously, you know, I don't want to say healing is the win condition because it's not. A whole team has to come together. But you know, you can have great games as healers. Like, let's just look at some of these stats. Okay, so just looking at some of my personal games here. This was a Rocket game, 11, 4, and 48. Like, you're barely even shooting with Rocket. Like, this was just like really close up, final person left. Let's just melt, you know, thing or something like that. And this was a Jeff game. Like, look at that. 45, 16, and 50. I was getting really bullied by their Magic. Where is she? She was bullying me like bad. She was really good. But I mean, these are huge numbers as a healer, and I still did 27,000 healing. Games like this one though, like I'm a part of the majority of like the actual kills, right? Like I don't know what this adds up to. I don't care to do the math right now, but 48 is pretty darn close. To being a part of almost every single kill in the game. 28,000 healing. People will dunk on you sometimes when you play them, be like, oh, you're not getting any kills, whatever. Don't listen to those people. You don't need to get kills as Rocket. You shouldn't be shooting your gun at all, really. Playing Strategist is just, man, it's so helpful. I will do more videos like this. I've got a lot more content coming, a lot more things I'm working on right now. So stay tuned, and I'll see you guys in the next video.